up? What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dash, and today I'm going to show you how to drive on Singapore Speedway 2. And honestly, this track is fairly easy to drive on for a city track. You can use smart steering for this track. That's also what I did for this tutorial for this video. You do not have to use, drift button for this track since there's no NISC on this track. So you don't need to do that. You can use smart steering if you want to. The only thing I'm questioning about is whether to use a mini turbo kart or a trick kart. I'm unsure which one is more optimal, but for this video I just strictly used the trick kart because I thought it was a little bit better, but I could be wrong. But other than that, we're gonna start this video with Singapore Speedway, the normal version right now, and I'm gonna walk you through how to drive this one. This one is probably the easiest one, to be honest. It's not too hard. So at the first turn, you will get 2 mini turbos and always go middle. So for this part right here, everyone's pacing will be different for these ramps here. So I wouldn't worry too much about it here, because usually what I would do is just hold down, I will hold down the drift button until I pass, the item set, and then drift right. Because sometimes you can do multiple mini turbos on the conveyor belt, but for safety purposes, you can just, just hold down the drift button. You'll be fine. Trust. And then when you come to this turn right here, you would charge up, your super mini turbo, and then charge up to another mini turbo. And that's basically it, but I'll go over it again for the second lap. So remember, you want to charge 2 mini turbos here. Always go middle so you can get the trick. Jump down immediately, start charging up your mini turbo, and release it before you go on the belt. And if you get some tricks here, you're considered lucky. And then, drift before you go on the ramp again. Do a mini turbo, you charge up for another mini turbo, and then you would drift right. And then you charge left and charge for a super mini turbo, and then charge again for another mini turbo. And that's basically it. Track is really easy. And that's it for the normal version. On to the trick version. The trick version is kind of almost the same. You want to do the double tricks as soon as you start off. Yep. And then you go through these rings. I don't think they give you a boost. So after the glider, you always want to dive down so you get all these tricks. Yeah, right here, I charged the mini turbo there because I could. And then the same as before, you drift right before the ramp. After this ramp, you want to charge a mini turbo. You hold it down. And then after this glider, you want to dive down immediately and start charging the mini turbo. And then release it mid-air and charge. You only go get 1 mini turbo here on a second lap. So after this glider, you want to dive down again and start beginning drifting left. See right here, I just kept charging it because it wasn't safe to, release an empty and start another one, because your alignment can get messed up on that conveyor belt. So just be careful if you plan on, releasing your mini turbo during the belt. Yep, you go dive down again, get your mini turbo and release it as quickly as you can, and that's it for the trick version. Easy. Now we're on to the reverse version. The reverse version is easy as well. So for this, you gotta charge up your mini turbo, and you gotta charge up to a super mini turbo, and then drift left. Get a mini turbo, trick, mini turbo, you get another one, and then drift left right before this ramp. Hold it down. Do another mini turbo there if there's not a ramp blocking you. Drift left, get another mini turbo. I think I got it here. I did not get it here. That's embarrassing. But I know I got the second lap. So you want to dive down right before the stairs. You want to drift right and then left again. And you got to rinse and repeat what you did the first lap. You're going to do a mini turbo into a super mini turbo. Get a mini turbo and then immediately drift right. Then mini turbo again. Mini turbo and then drift left. And then do it again. You can actually, you have time to release the mini turbos in between here. Drift left. Yep. Always got through the middle. You never know, you might hit the, you might get the trick off the water. You want to drift right and then drift left, and then that's it. So for this next part I'm about to show you guys is the respawn. The respawns here is a little bit faster than, gliding straight. So if you have a mushroom or anything like a dash ring, star, I wouldn't use a mega mushroom to take the respawn. It's not worth it. But if you have, you can dodge a shock, then honestly you would want to do the respawn. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do the respawn. This is the reverse version. For the reverse version, you want to dive down after you pass, the waterfall, because if you do it before the water, you will actually respawn, like way back here, and basically your race is over. So you don't want that happening. So always respawn, dive down after you pass the water, so you can make it. And that's it. For the normal one, it's a little different. For the normal one, you actually want to wait until you actually get onto this little parking lot right here, whatever you want to call it, like the street area. Because if you do it before the street area, the game won't actually respawn you all the way back here, and you do not want that happening because your race is already over at that point. So when you do the respawn on the normal version, make sure you want to dive down on the street so you can respawn up here. And that is honestly pretty much it for, how to drive on Singapore 2 Speedway. So if you guys learn anything from, me teaching you how to drive on Singapore, I would greatly appreciate it if you, like the video, comment, and subscribe and share the video if someone else is having trouble driving on this track. Other than that, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good day. Peace. So we have here on the trick version, there's actually a respawn here as well. But this one's a little bit more difficult than the normal and reverse one. For this one, you instantly have to dunk down as soon as your glider comes out so you can get this respawn. It's a little difficult, but you should be able to get it after a few times trying to practice it, because you have to literally hold that, you have to dive down as soon as you get off this glider so you can get this respawn. But other than that, that's it for the trick.
There is nowhere to run to.